Howdy, everybody, and welcome back to Inspirimint. Thank you guys all for tuning in and listening to us or watching us if you're on YouTube. First and foremost, I want to say the interaction on the posts on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube has been fucking awesome. It's been amazing. So thank you guys all for supporting right off the rip.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was honestly genuinely surprised to see that not only everybody watched, but like genuinely enjoyed it too. I got tons of DMs from people talking about their favorite parts and, you know, asking what the next topic was going to be about, next people, if there's going to be anybody coming on. And we have some really exciting things planned in the near future for you guys. And starting with today, a topic that I think it is incredibly relevant right now, one of the most relevant topics I could think of, which is discipline. Sean, your parents ever spank you?
Oh, bro.
You ever get spanked on the bottom?
Bro, there's times I had to run away, bro. I would walk 3 hours to avoid one.
Oh, man.
You had to run away?
Bro, if you seen the size of my dad back in the day, bro, you would have ran too.
Yeah. That's why he's a bodyguard, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Wait, what about you, Dylan? You ever get spanked when you were a kid?
I got the leather belt a few times for acting a fool.
Holy fuck, you got the leather belt?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
I remember the only time I got spanked one time, and I'm pretty sure it was just so my parents could say that they spanked me, because I remember it not being over anything relevant. I can't remember exactly what it was because I was so young, but I remember it was the only time it ever happened, and I was like 6, so it was like, what could I possibly have done? Like I was a great kid, right? But yeah, that was the only time I could think of. And other than that, I mean, I was pretty chill. My parents took it easy on me.
Must be nice.
Yeah, Sean's dad is over there just mean mugging him like 90% of the time, just so he knows.
Must be nice.
Okay, so real reason I bring up discipline is because I want to hear these boys' takes on it, and your guys' take in the comments after this video goes up too. But discipline to me is probably, it was for me the most important thing towards taking the next step out of, like, you know, this being a hobby and towards this being a business and a full-time job. I don't know how you guys feel or who wants to kick it off here, but like, was there a point in time where you just kind of had to almost like nut up and say like, what I'm doing is not enough, and start making like real sacrifices to get to where you are now? And do you recall that time, and what was it?
I mean, Dylan, you want to go? Because my situation is a bit different, if that makes sense.
Explain.
So yeah, so Dylan might have a different point of view. Like, because with me, I'm not gonna say I was forced. I was getting back into it, but at the time that I was getting back into it, the pandemic hit, and so it was just one of those things to where it was just kind of like I had nothing but time, anyways. Now, as I was doing it, I think, you know, just being an adult, you just get to the point to where you realize certain things aren't enough, and there's only one of you, and for, you know, the $300, $400, $500 per shoe just isn't going to cut it. I mean, it sounds good when you first get it, but then when you have adult bills and your mortgage is anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 a month, depending on where you live. You got car notes, car insurance, health insurance is like $1,000 plus. You know, at $500 a shoe, you know, you see goes pretty quick. And I think for me, and at the time, my wife was pregnant with our son. And so when I was getting into the shoes, I just bought a brand new house. I was buying furniture for the house, and my wife was pregnant, and we just found out about the pandemic. So it was kind of like a switch, which is like, you know, well, I can't really work. I need to make some money. So that's when I was just like, well, how can I make more money for less work? And I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking more so quantity. So how can I charge more for a single shoe? And it was just, you know, I just have to get better, improve my craft, and do stuff that sets me apart from everybody else. And so that's when the discipline comes in, and I just basically lock myself in the room. You know, I took my iPad everywhere. My iPad is literally kind of like a third arm. Like I wouldn't leave the house without it. I can go to the grocery store and I'll still take it, even though I may not even use it. It was just in case I'm sitting in the car for 20 to 30 minutes. My wife goes inside, I can practice something. And so, you know, when you don't want to practice, when you don't want to do something, you got to make yourself do it. It's just like going to the gym. You know, it's not easy, but it's part of the training, I guess.
Yeah, dude, I think a lot of what you said resonates with me because the gym was actually the first place that I felt like I gained some semblance and understanding of like the benefit of discipline.
Mhm.
Where for a long time, I like literally all the way through high school, I just did whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. And I think that a lot of people are like that. But the issue is at a certain point, like you have to put the time in to understanding like what you want and where you want to be, and then you just come to terms with, okay, well, I have a new perspective on things, I understand where I'm at, where I want to be, and where I'm going. But then are you willing to adapt? Like, can you figure out what you have to do, and do you have the discipline to do it? You know, like at the gym, it's like, well, you're skinny, you want to get fucking jacked. And it's like, okay, well, you got 3 4 years of going 5 days a week, working your ass off, lifting weights in the gym on top of whatever you have going on in your life. Are you willing to adapt? Are you willing to do what it takes? And that was the reality I came to with my profession after I left the brewery in Wisconsin, whenever it was about 2 years ago, where I was like, well, it's like I definitely know now that I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I definitely know now that I need to do something creative. And I was like, and I definitely know now that I want control over my schedule and what I want to do. So I was like, okay, well, in order to do that, here are the things I need to do. So instantly the first one for me, and Dylan, I don't know if this is the same for you, or Sean, but the first thing for me was I just stopped getting up at like 9 10 a.m. and I started getting up at 6 a.m. every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And that started that train of like getting up at 6 a.m., going to the gym for an hour every day. Then that got the ball rolling. So anytime I needed to do something for the business, it was like, it was easy. I just thought, okay, I need to do this, I'm gonna do it.
One of my favorite quotes from Arnold Schwarzenegger, talking about sleeping and motivation and discipline is sleep faster. So yeah, I think that discipline is closely tied into motivation in a way, and a lot of times it's a matter of it kind of comes and goes in different waves. So like when I first started out, you know, a 19-year-old kid, like just figuring out, you know, I had no idea how to run a business. You have no idea how long things are going to take. You have no idea when it's like okay to take breaks. You kind of always hear just about this typical 9 to 5 work schedule, that is, you know, kind of the standard nationwide for us and what we're, you know, typically growing up around. So you know, you don't necessarily know what it's like to you have you know better if you need to be working more or whatnot. But then you might have times where it's like maybe things are a little bit harder and you realize, hey, I need to put in more work. Or for me, kind of like Sean mentioned, just when some of those like adult responsibilities popped up. So when I was around, I don't know, 24, 25, and it's like, cool, now I want to start to do more adult things, moving out, saving up for a house, different cars, whatever, soon starting a family, whatever your case may be, to where now you have real adult responsibilities and you're not just living at home, and now you have a lot more bills. That can really light a fire under you to, okay, I need to start doing a lot more. So I know for me at one point I was taking off weekends, and so I really didn't work any Saturdays or Sundays. This is before having a family and stuff. And you know, I was probably working something close to, you know, maybe not 9 to 5, but maybe something like 8 to 6. And then it's like, I still always have a ton of work to do. So what happens if I just go from working, I don't know, 40, 50 hours a week to what are you able to do? How much are you able to alter your business if you go to working 70 to 80 hours a week? You know what I mean? All of a sudden you're able to get a lot more done. And how does that help you not only in the short term, but in the long run? And I think to succeed at a business like this, at some point you're probably gonna have to do something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, for sure. And like I think that that was a great example because like in your case, there's always there's like an ebb and flow to it. It was like you wanted to take your business to the next level, so you essentially sacrificed your time, and that
Yep.
kind of means sacrificing like time, with people you're in a
Friends, yep,
relationship
family,
with.
yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And also like, everybody's different too, but I know a lot of people need time to work on mental health as well and do the things that they enjoy, especially when it comes to art. So when you take on more work, you're giving up a lot of things.
Mhm.
Um, so it's a very serious decision, but I think it also can go the other way where like, maybe there have been times fairly recently where I was busy or not busy or whatever the case was. And I was like, my work isn't really making me as happy as it used to. And it's not as good as it used to be. And I'm losing motivation for it. And it was because I was working a lot. I was working 7 days a week at least 70 hours for weeks and months. And then I was like, at a certain point, I didn't have that motivation because there was nothing really pushing me other than just doing it. And I
Mhm.
was like, I think what I need is to introduce something that is like a reset button, it's like kind of like the gym. And so for a little while, for a couple weeks, I sacrificed work and the other way around and picked up like climbing and started doing more creative work that was just fun. It wasn't for the business or anything. And then now I can work 70, 80 again, no problem, and
Mhm.
crush it and have a great time.
Yep. You're not going to be able to do the 70 to 100 hours a week forever uh without burning out at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, so Sean, oh, actually your situation's a little bit different, but I guess we can think of it from like, I think all of us are at the level where we've kind of achieved a level of discipline that we have an understanding of what we need to do and we do it. But if you're getting started, let's say specifically in custom shoes or in art, whatever take you want to go off of, then um, like what are some disciplines you'd recommend introducing?
I think I think number one, people need to ask yourself why and what's your goal. I think that will help you with your discipline a lot because if your main goal is just to do it on the side, to me, part-time people or people are doing more so as a hobby may have a little less discipline because they don't really need to be fully disciplined because they're doing other stuff. If you're doing it just for fun, you see what I'm saying, you may do it once a week, once every 2 weeks. If you're doing it like me or Dylan, Zach, you trying to do it full time, I think you kind of have an understanding of you're going to have to invest more time into that. And then finding motivation. Like for me, I realized like when I'm motivated and I'm like inspired, I have no problem waking up early. So when you're motivated, you wake up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and you can't wait to do a project because you've
Facts.
been thinking about it all night.
Oh, so true, bro. So
but,
true.
but when you're not motivated, bro, you wake up at like 9:30, you just be like, and so I think that's how I gauge if I'm like locked in and motivated enough and I'm working on a project that I'm really excited about is, how am I waking up? Um and
But like, so in that case though, right? So let's say
mhm.
like you're waking up and you're not enjoying it, right? You recognize it doesn't mean you don't like painting anymore. You're just
Mhm.
like not pumped about the project, right? But like to me, like that's not a reason to change something all the
No,
time,
no.
you know?
Well, I tell like for me, I treat the painting of shoes and my art like a relationship. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's no
Ooh.
different than you dating a girl, guy, being married, having friends. Like, you don't want to be, as much as I love my wife, you don't want to be with your wife 24/7, 365. Like, can I get 2 hours alone, please? Art's the same way. Like, you'll get burnt out if you don't manage it like a relationship. It's the same thing. It's a relationship. When you do it too much, eventually you're going to get tired of doing it, and then you're just not going to want to do it for 3 weeks. So like, even now, after my last shoe, I haven't painted in like a week because I feel it. Like, I need to decompress. What else can I do? So clean up the house a little bit, play a game, sketch a little bit. And then when I get that feeling of, okay, now I want to paint something, it's the same thing, spice it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put some rose petals down.
Yeah, nice little bubble bath action, some champagne.
Get yourself some handcuffs.
Bring back the leather belt.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
dude,
listen to your body, man. A lot of people ignore it. Your body will tell you when it wants a break. And if it's like a practice break, being lazy break, or a genuine, I need a break.
Yeah, dude, you know what fucks me up though? Every single time. And I still don't know how to tackle this really. We're about to have a little therapy sesh with the boys. So whenever the issue for me though is like, even whenever I realize I need a break because I'm just not fully enjoying things, I'm just like, anytime I take a break, I'm getting better now, but it's just like I don't even enjoy the break because I'm like, well, the reason I'm doing the work is like to get to a certain point. Like I'm like, if I'm not doing it, I'm actively like taking my ability to get to where I want to be away, And then I'm like, while I'm on break, I'm like, yeah, this is nice, and playing flip cup in my basement. I'm like, I don't know, just lapping water out of a sink, whatever you're doing on your break. But like, it's just not, I'm just waiting for the break to be done at a certain point so I can get back to it. And then it's just, there's no relief,
Nothing worse than that, feeling guilty.
Yeah. What the fuck are you laughing at? Like, dude, what are you laughing at?
It's like that girlfriend, man. Like, oh, you can't take me out tonight?
I feel like, Sean, you got to get it off your chest, dude.
Yeah. No, bro. I mean, because I think we've all been there, right? You kind of like guilt trip yourself, like, man, but I mean, your break could very well still be something art related. It doesn't have to not be art related. You could just not want to paint on a shoe. You're doing canvas work, right? You could be painting a canvas. Still art related, still practice, still helping you add to your arsenal, but
Doesn't
a
feel
shoe is
like
different
work.
than painting a canvas. See what I'm saying? Maybe you're tired of canvas work. Try something digitally. Do something else, like maybe try to build something for your house or paint a mural on your wall. It's art related, but it's a breath of fresh air from what you normally do.
Yeah. I like that. I've got another question in addition to that for you guys. So do y'all ever feel like oh fuck, I lost it. Quick, somebody say something.
Swag.
I can't fucking think. I lost it.
What a
Swag in the
host.
bag.
I
What a
fucking
host, man.
lost it.
What a host.
All right, guys, this is a fun episode. Let's wrap this up.
All that brain.
I don't remember what the fuck it was. Oh, I will say though, in addition, where you guys are talking about the canvas work, that's been awesome recently. I've been making a couple canvases. That's been a huge reset. Like,
see,
yeah, I've been.
Yep.
I love it, bro. I love it so much. Do you guys have a go-to thing that you enjoy that's your reset button?
Dylan.
Like art related, not particularly that I can think of. Something that I'll do outside of shoes, but kind of just non would be watch sports or movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Spend time with the family.
Yeah, when I'm not, that's already built in, but if I got to do something outside, yeah, I'd say some of those.
Yeah, like me, I'm to like because I start listening, like I get irritated. So if I don't feel like doing something, I get like antsy, but I'm like irritated by what I'm doing. And so when I get like that, that's like, okay, let me go try to find something else. So like sometimes I want to play a game, but then it's just like it may not be the game I actually want to play, and I don't really have anything else to play. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, let me just look around. So I'll maybe clean, then I'll get like an idea. I think I'm too like sometimes I'm impulsive. So when I get that idea, I have to do it then, or else I won't feel like doing it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kind of go by that, man. The wavelength.
Yeah, dude, I get that. That happens to me all the time. That actually is the worst feeling for me. is when I want to not do art, so I do something that's not art, and because it's not the right not art thing, I am
Doesn't
not
hit the
happy
spot.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And then I literally I've never felt like I'm wasting my time more. Never in my life.
But it's
Oh,
like
oh,
with
go ahead.
me for the longest, right? Even when I would watch movies, I would dissect it like I'm studying. So even when I'm watching movies, I would be like looking at the light source,
Yep.
or facial expressions, the storytelling. So like even when I'm not painting and I'm just watching TV or playing a game, I'm still low key studying. It's weird.
Do you think that that's for a specific reason? Do you think that's because you want to improve or because you're
Yeah, it's
afraid to not
I'm
be
obsessive,
improving?
bro. It's like
Mm.
I got that OCD. It's like I don't know, it's weird. It's
You're
like I
building up
want to
that
cut it off.
catalog,
What?
What?
building up that catalog in your brain.
Bro, it's like I want to cut it off,
Yeah.
but there's times where I just can't.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what fucks me up. Like most of my work is related to very like mundane things. And so I can't cut it off like ever because I'll just be walking around and then I'll see like a house that I like the texture or the colors of, and I'll have to like try and remember, or like I'll take a picture as I'm driving by. Like I have a phone full of just shitty pictures on my Samsung Galaxy S9 because I'm driving past it, or like I'm at a stoplight and I'm
Phone
just
flex.
yeah yeah S9. Yeah, widely touted as the fucking best phone of all time, the Samsung Galaxy S9.
You get that new jitterbug?
No, dude, I'm going back to Nokia.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
just checking.
Going back to Nokia, baby. I need me a brick. But
Play
yeah,
Snake.
that's also weird too, is like I think that's a product of min-maxing my life. And what?
Hold on. You use some MMO video game terms.
I forgot you play video games. I didn't expect anybody to know that.
Min-maxing his character, bro.
Wait, Dylan, do you know what that is?
No, that one's over my head.
Okay. So min-maxing is essentially like fully optimizing your character for whatever game you're playing. You know, so like
Gotcha.
if it's like an MMO, it's like having all of your gear spec'd absolutely perfect going into the raid is like min-maxing.
Like
And-
it'll be a 0.0000001% upgrade, but they got to do it.
Yeah, yeah. So I told my therapist last week. I was like, man, I really like I'm happy that my life. I have different things to fit different needs, and it feels like things are very harmonious right now. Even though there are I have a lot of issues, like things balance each other out. So I generally feel like confident and good. But I was like, it's also very overwhelming just min-maxing your life like that and feeling like you don't have a day to fuck up. Like I can't even remember the last I think there's been one time in the last year I've like gotten drunk or just said fuck it, I'm not doing anything today. Like it just doesn't happen because it just feels so bad. And that feeling's like gets a little overwhelming after you do that for so long, at least for me. I don't know if y'all are the same. Like, do you feel like whenever you're like, okay, I need to do this till this point, and then this till this point, then this till this point, then tomorrow do it this way. After you do that for so long, does that get overwhelming to you guys, or do you have a different system to kind of work around that?
Sounds like a learn to play issue, bro.
Learn to play issue. Bad because bad. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh, I'm kidding. Dylan, you want to go ahead, player?
Yeah. So like, what's the question really?
So when you are optimizing your time
Yeah.
and you're saying this is the amount of time I can give to my work, this is the amount of
Yep.
time I can give to my family.
Mhm.
After you optimize your days nonstop every day, do you ever get to the point where it feels overwhelming because you have no room for error?
Does it get overwhelming? I would say, yeah, because you're never going to be able to add a 25th hour. You know what I mean? Regardless, you're in stuff in art always takes 3 times longer than you'd expect. You know what I mean? No matter how good you are at planning, no matter how long you do this stuff, still just ends up taking longer than you'd like or than you'd plan for. So, now you're borrowing from future time, next week's schedule to do this week's work and stuff like that. So yeah, you just got to be able to roll with the punches, baby.
I like that. Sean, I feel like knowing you, you've got an interesting take on this.
What you mean?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like you're the type of person that has a system that is like so fucking uniquely you because like anytime you do like something normal or like a general system, you're like, no, I can't do this because blah blah blah. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Am I wrong?
Like, are you saying like I plan out everything?
I think you don't take this the wrong way. I feel like you're the type of guy that plans out doing nothing. I feel like you'd say, I have 2 hours to do nothing. And then cut it off at
Pretty
the
much.
2 hour mark.
Pretty much. Yeah, I literally plan everything. If I'm not doing it, I'll literally talk to myself and tell myself what I'll be doing tomorrow, bro. That's me. 100%. Yeah, you got me. All right, bro.
Okay, good.
And it's funny because my wife's the complete opposite. Like, she hates planning. Like, she just go with the flow. Like, and so it's just kind of like, bro. But yeah, I plan everything. So even when I'm working on a shoe, I I literally tell myself, okay, today I'm gonna do this. It should take this much time. Now, if I don't get this done by today, that means I have to do such and such different tomorrow. So I can try to do this today. Now, if I do to get this done today, I'll be able to do this
Get a
tomorrow,
head
so on
start
and
on
so
something
forth.
else. Yeah.
Huh?
I said get a head start on something else.
Yeah. So yeah, I literally plan out everything, even nothing, bro.
Is that what you do, Dylan?
No, like every once in a while, I'll be like, man, I feel like I'm on some tight deadlines. So I'll start to look at the next month and just sort of map out on a calendar. Hey, like this has to be done by this point over the next month. And like, let's try to make sure. Um, I think that this needs to be done by Friday. Well, okay, let me make sure that I leave myself till the following Tuesday because stuff's going to take longer and things like that. So always got to include some wiggle room because like I said, man, stuff always pops up and
Yeah.
stuff just magically takes longer. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But no, I don't plan too far in advance just because it's so hard for me to calculate how long things are going to take. But something that really helps me is from time to time, I'll be more motivated to like kind of write daily list and be like, okay, here's 3 big things I need to accomplish today, or 8 little things. And let's go ahead and actually cross them off. And that could be like prepping these photos for Instagram or prepping this for the YouTube video, or you know what I mean? Like all that little stuff, and then actually be able to cross it off because otherwise that's just stuff that'll stay buried on the list of stuff you hope to get to when you have some free time, whether it's redesigning your website or setting up email campaigns or any of that type of little stuff that doesn't seem super important on the surface or to accomplish today. But at the same time, if you just constantly push it off, someday isn't exactly a day on the calendar, as they say.
Yeah.
I always over gauge my stuff too. So if I get like a shoe and I'm working on a shoe, even though I'm pretty good with like how long something will take me, maybe within like 5 hours or so. But if I look at a shoe and like, okay, this shoe will take me probably about 40 hours, I'll be like, okay, it's going to take me 55. So then I plan my week around a 55-hour shoot. So then when it's actually 35, now I have an extra 20 hours to play with.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I think all of it. I think a lot of this changed whenever, we picked up Inspiriment and like learning the editing for things, because a lot of the, like right before that, I started editing my videos, and learning how to cut and making them look the way I want to. And that just in general was a big like mental hurdle for me for some reason. It was one of those things that like, you Dylan always told me that I had to get on YouTube. So I was like, all right, well, I should probably know how to video edit at least a little bit. And so, but it was always that back of the burner thing that, I think I'd always get to. And I was happy that, this is an opportunity to like take that head on and get into it. But in doing that and setting up the social medias and whatnot for things, then it took a lot of time away from things that I already like would normally do, just like painting and whatnot. So like now I'm finally getting to the point where things are just efficient enough where I can do them both and not worry. But there was like a week or 2 week period where I was just like, well, this is just what it is. I was like, I just can't really be creative these couple weeks. I was like, I have to learn how to do this. I have to get better at it, because this is something that I took on, and that's kind of where I find myself a lot of the time is, okay, I want to add 3D to my arsenal. I want to add AR to my arsenal. What does that take? And then just giving it an unlimited amount of time and saying, I'm just going to learn this until I get to the point where I'm confident I can do it efficiently and in a style that I like, and then go from there. But that unfortunately leads to those periods where it's like a month, 2 months of like not posting a whole lot and not creating a whole lot. And that's where I'm like feel the most pride in things, is because now going forward, I'll always have those skills, like now I can go 2-3 weeks fucking painting my ass off and not give a shit because I learned everything I needed to, and I can do it whenever I want to, which feels good.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah,
it does.
That's why, Sean, you need to learn how to 3D model.
Bro, it's funny you say that, right? I've been watching videos on people using 3D pens.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking, like where it's like you draw with them and it like connects almost.
Yeah, the filament comes out of the actual pen and they're literally just drawing and doing making like all kind of crazy stuff. So I've been watching those kinds of videos. It's pretty dope, bro.
Yeah. Bro, I could see you with the 3D printer. If I was good enough to make 3D models, I'd make them for you.
You make 3D models now, dog.
Yeah, but I'm not good at it. I promise. Or I would. Dylan, is there like an undertaking that you have coming up? Like, do you have that next step in mind?
Oh boy. Something that I need to. No, not in terms of like you guys are just talking about 3D modeling. Like, here's a new thing that I'm really trying to learn or whatnot. I've been saying it for years, but I really want to learn how to sew. But I just need to force myself to take a month off and do it every day. But I got all the equipment and stuff to do it, but I just got to find a way to carve that time out. But hopefully I'll get there.
That's the hard part.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, especially y'all got responsibilities too. I can fuck off for a couple weeks and probably be fine,
This dude. You got responsibilities too, bro.
I do.
You got one on the way, right?
Yeah, except my response to no. I was gonna say no. I was like, my responsibilities won't starve my family though. That's the only difference. I may have to eat ramen for a few weeks, but other than that, I'm good to go.
That good old college diet.
Dude, honestly, I love cooking now. I used to hate cooking, but I think cooking's a blast.
Hey man, start a cooking channel, bro.
You won't do it?
Fucking me? You're damn right I won't do it, dude. Are you kidding me? I have to compete with like binging with Babish and all these just ridiculous cooking channels with massive budgets from the Food Network channel. 0% chance. No way.
You can do it, bro.
We all got to start somewhere.
So I think actually this may be a great place to cut her off and call it just an early podcast. Make it a nice short one, nice palatable one. So one of the things I wanted to say too is coming up, our next episode, I am incredibly excited about. Incredibly excited. We have a guest coming on that no, that's 2 episodes from now, right? Did I just fuck up?
I think it's next one.
Okay, well, regardless, in the near future, we have an awesome
I'm
guest coming.
confused. So
I got myself fucking confused too. The point being, in the near future, we have a phenomenal guest coming on and an incredible conversation with things. And I'm really excited to introduce that to you guys and continue doing stuff like that going forward. But for this episode, I hope that you guys found a lot of value from our talk about discipline. And if this is something you guys are interested in talking about more and have any opinions on, any personal experiences, please share it in the comments down below on YouTube or DM us on Instagram. And if there's any topics you guys want to hear going forward, then like I said, please feel free to shoot us any DMs on Instagram. We'll probably throw something up in the stories as well to make it nice and easy for you. So gentlemen, is there anything that you guys have coming up that you want to introduce or anything that you just posted that you want to shout out?
nope.
Follow Inspirement.
Follow
What do you say?
Inspiriment, baby. Let's
Leave us a
fucking go.
rating. Leave us a comment. Tell your
Absolutely.
homies. Yep.
Absolutely.
Tell your baby mama's mama. Tell your baby mama's
Yeah.
mama's mama.
Damn right. Keep the spanking to a minimum and keep the comments to a maximum, baby. All right, y'all. Have a great fucking day. Adios.
Peace.
Peace.